marvelously with steak, other red meats, and just about anything else you can cook. This versatile blend is all you need.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
Maureen is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon, so now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language, and she really loves her grandson, like really loves.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Bounty versus the old family dish towel. Drying with a fresh sheet of Bounty leaves your hands cleaner than a used dish towel that can carry and redistribute food residue. So ditch the dish towel for better hand hygiene. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Itchy, squirmy, scratchy, family not getting clean? Get Charmin Ultra Strong. Go get 'em. It just cleans better. With a diamond weave texture, your family can use less while still getting clean.
Goodbye, itchy squirm.
Hello, cream bottom.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
One bite of 100% Angus beef ballpark frank, and you'll say, hello, summer. Oh yeah, it's ballpark season.
AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Sugar Chateau Desserts is a specialty bakery located in the Charlotte, North Carolina metro area. We will create delicious and one-of-a-kind treats for any occasion. Sugar Chateau is currently shipping cakes in a jar, offering a variety of different flavors in a single-serve container that can help you celebrate in accordance with social distancing. Place your orders today by calling 803-526-7895 or visiting sugarchateaudesserts.com.
All right, hello and welcome to another edition of the ONG Strike Zone. My name's Brian Fulford. My brother is on the screen with me, Kelvin Rozier, Kofi Hemingway. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you? Can you hear me?
I'm better and better, but I with a few. I feel like I'm dealing. I do hear you. I don't know if you're hearing me. I feel like I'm dealing with some lag or connection issues. So I if I sound like I skip or stutter, please let me know.
You are.
Not sure what's going on my end.
Can you hear me though?
I do hear you. Yes, I do hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you not hearing me?
I hear you. You're good.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. I'm glad we do these little mic checks during the live show. Always love it. Kevin, how you doing tonight?
Maybe he can't hear you.
Kelvin, are you there?
He's there, but he ain't saying it.
Again, like I said, I don't know. Yeah, I see him. I see him. Maybe he's having a little hang up. So yeah. Again, like I said, that our computer was acting a little slow. Not really sure how the connection's coming across. Producer Mel, you keep me in the loop of how I'm sounding. You guys, Kelvin, are you there? How you doing, Kelvin? Okay, so we're still here. The guys in the chat rooms are telling me we're still not hearing Kelvin. So maybe our producer, let's make sure we got Kelvin mics up. Kelvin, if you can hear us, make sure you're not on mute or anything. And we'll kind of try to see. He said he's not on mute. So our producer, let's see, do another check there, Kelvin. Let's see if we can hear you.
You're gonna have to log out and log back in.
Yeah. You may have to jump back in here, Kelvin. Not really sure what the issue is. As we try to get through a few technical issues on a Wednesday evening, we'll try to get it right here because we got a busy show tonight. We want to make sure you guys can hear all of us here. You want to be able to hear Kelvin as well as Kofi and myself. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching the show. As always, we're part of the Black College Sports Network and want to remind you, if you're not following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, please go and do so at ONG Strike Zone and go download the Jericho Broadcast Network's app on the Google or Apple Play Store. Just search My JBN, My BCSN is where you can find it. And our show will appear on the BCSN Pod Zone as well after the show. So we got the video on YouTube and Facebook. Appreciate everybody on those platforms. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, the like button. Dr. Strachan's in the moderator chair today for our own Dr. Lori. We'll talk about the big day that she's having out there in the Hamptons in a few. But appreciate Doc. One Doc to the next Doc. So we appreciate you stepping in the moderator chair and just watch out because as he already put out there, no bashing FAMU, but constructive comments are welcome. So we love it. We love it. Feel free to just fire that gun off whenever you have to, Doc. We appreciate you. Kofi, what's the latest, man? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. How are you? You know, first day of school hit back in Duval County. Can you hear me? Yeah, this first day of school hit back.
I'm 2 days. I'm 2 days.
Yeah, this is the second day.
I'm 2 days in the school, so
why does Florida start
we're probably on the same
in the middle of the week? Why are we starting in the middle of the week?
You know what? I think that's for us teachers, because I'll tell you, I enjoyed not having to start on a Monday. I really did. I enjoyed not, having that one last day to prepare for the school year and then start on Tuesday. And because that first day is really all a bunch of paperwork, rules, and reminder. The first 2 days, you're just reminding kids that, hey guys, you're in school. These are the policies. These are the procedures. This is what you need to do. So a lot of that's happening the first couple days. So we really don't get into the nuts and bolts until about day 3. So I think we need a slow ramp up. So I'm all for it. I on the other side, you as a parent, though, what's it like on your end, though?
Well, praise the Lord, my kids are in college now, so I don't have to deal with waking anybody up to go to catch the bus or dropping people off or go. Hey, watch this. School shopping. Them days is over with. So we don't have to go get notebook paper and notebooks and trapper keepers and pens and calculators and rulers and what do you call it? The sanitizer, protractors, all of that stuff that goes along. Oh, markers, what do you call them? Highlighters. What else we got to get? Tissue, a teacher's gift. What else we got to do? Oh, pack lunches.
I have got no teacher's gifts. Did I fail by not putting teacher's gifts?
You better take care of your teachers, man. They remember that stuff like that.
I didn't put any up.
Yeah, put some teachers' gifts up in there.
Let me see. I see Kelvin. Kelvin, are you back with us? Are you good now? Nope, still no audio. What's going on here, producer Mel? Let's see. Any thoughts or ideas? What's going on there in the background? I would say this.
He ain't saying nothing,
if producer Mel, if you want to look into, I know. We still have a link. Mel, Kelvin, if you take a look in the links we got I think guest 5 open. So let's see if we can get him tuned into guest 5. There's a link there which is still open. So Kofi, coming up on today's show, we got a lot of stuff we're getting into on today's show. Obviously, volleyball season has started as the Lady Rattlers are on the court. The champs are back on the court practicing, getting ready to run it back. We're 17 days away from game number 1 in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. So talk about coming up here very shortly. We're going to talk to Gerald Thomas III, who's covering FAMU for the Democrat. We'll get a chance to talk with him and get an update on the first scrimmage of the year. Took place this past weekend. So we'll get a chance to talk to him. Also, we're going to give you guys a little insight into the renovations of Bragg Memorial Stadium with the one of the project managers for the company that was in charge of renovations. We'll be talking to Gerard Thompson coming up here in the bottom of the hour. And then, of course, top of hour 2, we're going to talk to Albert Chester Sr. We're going to talk about not only his former broadcast partner, the late Mike Thomas, who passed away a week ago. But we'll also get his thoughts on the upcoming season. So that and more coming up. But Kofi, before we get into that, Rick, some big things were happening down here in Orlando, and we tried to put the call to action to folks. I'm curious. I read letter. Hopefully you read mine, and
I did.
I hope Rattler Nation took us up.
Well, let's do this while we're waiting on Kelvin.
What are your thoughts? What took place the past couple days in Orlando?
Well, we got one more day of it. There's a board of trustees meeting, and they're supposed to be addressing athletics. So this was a good time to make our voices heard as much as we could. It's pretty much closed off, but I wanted to take some time out, really to address that, because, of course, this is a very important time in Rattler history. We have got to really take the bull by the horns and become more engaged and become more involved. We've left it up to our board of trustees to address certain issues that have not been addressed. And I think that as a body, they need to hear from us. They need to hear what we're pleased with and what we're not pleased with, and what needs to change. Because if we don't do that, things remain the same. There is no change without confrontation. So if we want things to change, and confrontation doesn't mean that you have to be ugly, that you have to be nasty, that you have to cuss people out, that you got to throw stuff, that you got to be belligerent and ignorant and all that other stuff. It just means that we're addressing an issue or issues that need to change. If you don't mind, can I read your letter and then you read some of mine? Can you hear me?
Sure. We only got to. Yeah, I hear you. I want to make. We only got a minutes here before our first guest is. I don't know if we. I do want to read those. Kelvin, let's make sure we got back first. Kelvin, how's our audio? Got you?
We got the belly. I hear something. Say something, Kelvin.
Got to remember, we're live on the air there, yeah. So
we got the belly. I hear something.
Producer Mel, you may want to go to the two shot. We're thankful that Kelvin is glad he's fully dressed for the show today.
Ooh, Jesus, praise the Lord.
Oh man, live television. Hey, let's do this before our next guest comes on, Gerald Thomas III. Let's take a short break, see if some of the things that are going on, come back with Gerald Thomas III, get into talking a little bit about FAMU football on the other side of this break. Let's take a quick 2 minutes. You're watching the ONG Strike Zone. We'll be back in just a moment.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching say, make this for my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching, hey, motivation.
This is Carlos Brown, letting you know that we're on the move. You can now catch the Carlos Brown Show beginning this July on the Black College Sports Network each and every Saturday from 11 to 1 Eastern Time. That's 10 to 12 Central Time. Same time, new place. On Facebook at the Carlos Brown Show and Black College Sports Network. online at www.mybcsn.net and on the BCSN app available on Google Play and the Apple App Store.
You see, Head & Shoulders has scalp shield technology, protects against flakes even between washes. It's never not working.
Kind of like us. Number 15?
Never not working.
I don't like this one.
Me neither.
Let's get out of here.
Head & Shoulders scalp shield, never not working.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat. Ooh, yeah, that's nice.
Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on? Sure. It's wireless.
Pick something we all like.
Okay, hold on.
What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable. That's a really tight spot. Don't worry. I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you. All of you.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Can y'all hear me?
Let's get back to strolling instead of scrolling. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your family.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube, Spreaker, or the BCSN app. As we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Time to call a credit repair company to fix my credit. Hold the phone, man. You can do it yourself with Credit Versio. That's way too hard. Call the credit repair company. Most credit repair companies only work on 1 or 2 accounts at a time, making it slow and expensive. You won't figure that out for months. Ignore him. Credit Versio's brilliant software scans all the credit bureaus, finds the accounts that are hurting your score, and guides you through the entire process. Anyone can do it. Let's fast forward and see the results. Wow, I fixed my own credit and saved hundreds. You can do this. Visit creditversio.com.
They say things are bigger in Texas. Well, Texas Cowboy Dust delivers big flavors every time. A flavorful blend of onion, Himalayan pink salt, dried shiitake mushrooms, and other ingredients that pair marvelously with steak, other red meats, and just about anything else you can cook. This versatile blend is all you need.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
Okay, back to the ONG strike zone. Appreciate you guys bearing with us. We worked through the technical difficulties. Shout out to our producer, Melody's in the background, working hard, man. She's sweating, trying to figure it all out and get us everything going right. Working on getting Kelvin's situation taken care of. But I think we do have Gerald Thomas the third here. In the room. Go. Let's make sure we can bring him up. There it is. We might even Kelvin. Kelvin, is that a Kelvin Rozier sighting?
Can y'all hear me, man?
Well, I don't know.
Yes.
He's there. So,
Praise
Gerald, how are you doing
Hallelujah.
tonight?
Woo! Thank you, Jesus.
What's
Shondo.
up, G?
He's Shabbat.
What's up, G?
Hold on. We can hear Kelvin. I can hear Kelvin.
Let's go.
All right. I'm here, fellas. I'm ready.
All right. Gerald, say something. Lord,
Are you on
there
mute?
we go. We got him.
Great. Hey, all right. Everybody's here. Gerald, are you there? How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good. How everybody else doing?
All right, good. We all
man.
I hate
Welcome
lying.
back.
Great. Hey, look, we're trying to. We just dealing with live. We just dealing with live. This is live. Streaming ain't easy, folks. So don't let anybody lie to you and tell you it's easy. That's all I can say. Hey, Gerald. Hey, first off, man, great coverage that you've been providing the fan base via Tallahassee. And obviously, let's start with the scrimmage, man. The scrimmage was this Saturday. What big away? I know a lot of people are probably chirping about quarterback plays, so let's start there. Break down what you saw from the two or three quarterbacks, the top three guys from this past Saturday scrimmage.
Well, the scrimmage it was a good scrimmage. I say for the quarterbacks, it's getting heated. Rashawn McKay, he had his moments. Jerry Musa had his moments, but I don't think coach is close to making a decision. I don't think he'll make a decision until it's time to play North Carolina, going into that week. So they learned a lot of that at that scrimmage on Saturday. So regardless, they got the weapons to make it happen. When you got Xavier Smith and then they have a bunch of running backs, Terrell Jennings, and they just got a lot of running backs out there. AJ Davis from Pittsburgh. So the offense, they have the weapons. They just have to figure out who's going to be the one under center when it comes to game day.
Nice, man. So what do you think of our defense?
There is.
What you say?
What do you think of the defense?
Man, the defense, that's right there. That's the backbone of the team right there. Just off how it was last year. A lot of people have been talking about drop off just because Marquise Bell isn't there anymore. But one thing that the guys have been telling me that's on the defensive side is that, yeah, they don't have Marquise Bell anymore, but they feel like they have more depth on the team. You got Lovey Jenkins. He's going to be the one playing the free safety, look like, to be in that spot that Marquise Bell was in. And then Javen Morgan, he's going to also be playing safety. So, he comes out of Florida High. So they have a lot of depth on the team. I've seen a lot of combinations. They got a guy out of Tulsa named Lamar Mullins, Courtney Cox. They got a lot of guys, and then at the corner you got BJ Bowler. So he's going to be the leader. I think he's going to be the leader of the secondary as a whole. And then of course I'm sure y'all seen the young guy Zaire Riley making ESPN, and he actually caught a pick six in the scrimmage on Saturday. Took it back for 40 yards. So and the defense looking real good. I think they have a chance to emulate that number 10 ranking that they had a season ago on FCS.
Anything surprise you? And what do you think? Progress. Where's the existing question marks besides quarterback in terms of so far what you saw based on the scrimmage?
I don't really think anything necessarily surprised me. I expected the defense to be good. Another question mark, like I said, will be how they will work with all those running backs that they have, because they have running backs and they have capable running backs. Like I said, A.J. Davis, Terrell Jennings, he was on the team last year. Jalen McLeod, he was on the team last year. DeAndre Francis is also a name that came up a lot over the offseason. He's a local kid out of Rickards. So that's another question mark. Last year they did a running back by committee. So I expect them to do that again because, man, they have a lot of options. They have a lot of looks that they can throw at opposing defenses when the season started.
Gerald, let me come back to. I got to come back to the quarterback question again. I'm in the camp that it's McKay's job. From what you saw in practice, how does Jeremy Musa hit the field? Why would Jeremy Musa field? From what you see, I mean, let's not talk about injuries or anything, but from what you've seen, because it sounds like there is a competition, but I don't get the feeling there's a competition. If I'm making any sense with that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Jeremy Musa, he's a guy that I just spoke with him today. Actually, he's played a lot of college football, man. On the FBS level, even in JUCO, he played at Hawaii when he was fresh out of high school, and then he went to JUCO and won the conference championship at the school in California, San Bernardino Valley College. And then he went to Vanderbilt. He didn't really play much at Vanderbilt, and then now he's at FAMU. So, he's really trying to find his home, I would say. So that would be kind of a motivating factor for him to get on the field with just, I've been to all these schools. I've been to 3 different schools. So I'm trying to find what's that place that would give me a chance, or that place that is the best system for me. So if he feels that if he played like the system that they run is best for him, then he'll get on the field. But also if Rashawn McKay is performing better, that's just what's going to happen. But I definitely see, even Coach has mentioned it, he said both of them might play, just to start the season to see who they even want to roll with for the rest of the season. So it might be a long time before that quarterback battle was settled.
Well, tell me about Musa's game and what you like about his game from what you have seen.
Musa, I noticed he's a taller quarterback. I think he's about 6'3". So I think all coaches enjoy having taller quarterbacks. I noticed that the first time I even seen him play, I just noticed that he like releases the ball like up high. So that's something that I see him do a lot. So that's something that really stood out to me. He does a good job of finding guys. And, like I said, they have a lot of wide receivers. They got Xavier Smith, they got Oxydon, they have Jamar Shareed, K-Dot. So it's like it really isn't much reason to go wrong when you have those weapons on your team. And also with Rashawn McKay, like he's the veteran. He's been the one that been in that system. Just last year, he had the one bad game at Jackson State, and he turned around and almost threw for 2,500 yards, 22 touchdowns, and only 5 interceptions. So it's just like you might can't go wrong with both. It just depends on who's gonna get that momentum and be consistent with it. That's just how I see. That's how it's going to get settled. Who's going to be the most consistent? Who's going to be able to make a mistake and come back from it? Short-term memory, like coaches always say. So that's really what's going to ultimately settle that quarterback battle. But like Coach said, it might not be settled to 3 weeks to the season. All those guys might end up getting some snaps in the game.
Right. So Leland Wilhoit, is he injured? Did he have surgery? Like, how long? What do you know about that situation?
I don't really know much about the situation. It was I think he got injured on the day that I wasn't out there, because he was practicing the first 2 days, and I came back out there, and he had the cart. So I'm not really sure what his injury situation is. Sometimes I really try to kind of stay out of injury business, because some people don't sometimes you're not supposed to report injuries, until the team releases it. So yeah, I just know he was practicing when I was out there within that first week, and then I didn't come for a day, and he was on a cart. So I'm hoping a speedy recovery for him too.
Any noticeable changes with the new coaches
I'm glad
out
you
there?
brought that up.
What you say?
Any noticeable changes with the new coaches out there? How's that coming along?
Well, I actually talked to the new coaches today. They're Coach Kozer from FSU, that played cornerback at FSU. He was talking about, the objective is to win, and also the other coach Morgan out of Virginia Tech. They both had nice things to say about Willie Simmons. Like Coach Morgan, he said he just was hired as a defensive coordinator at Elizabeth City State University. Like he said, he was hired a month ago, and he was getting ready for the season, and coach called him, and next thing you know, he was moving again. So I feel like all these guys are bought into what the FAMU football team is gonna do. And you already know Coach Simmons; he's a personable guy. He has a lot of respect around Division I football, so around football in general. So I think those guys are going to follow his lead, and I think they're going to enhance the team and being. And then on top of that, they're coming in to the top 10 defense of FCS too. So it's like those guys, they're very. Coach Kozer, he's been in a lot of places. He even was coaching in Canada at once upon a time. So, so he's been around. I believe he's been coaching for 23 years. And then Coach Morgan, he's Virginia Tech. He was a standout at Virginia Tech, all ACC, went to the NFL, played for the Jets and the Eagles. So those guys, they've been around a lot of football, so they know what they're doing, and I think they'll do a good job with that FAMU defense.
Good.
Brian? Well, so
hey,
what?
I know I'm the one. Go ahead, Kof.
No, I was just gonna say, man. So I know it's been extremely hot out there. Have you had an opportunity to go into the cooling room?
Man, I actually went into the cooler. I went into the cooler room the day they put it out there. Man, I walked all through it, man. I think they said it gets down to 18 degrees. So yeah, I went in there. That was about 2 weeks ago, man. I've been out there just about every day. I probably can count on one hand how many days of practice that I missed, but they definitely put me on a weight loss plan going out there in that heat, man. I think I've lost about 5 pounds since training camp started.
Let's go.
Are they in the stadium or are they on the field more?
So I'm.
Oh, you said what? Oh, they started off practicing in the stadium, but now they've been on the practice field. I think they went to the stadium, just to get that, get that vibe. But they're on the practice fields now.
Okay. Go ahead, Brian.
Well,
there appears to be a delay.
I'm the one that's on a bad layer, so I'm gonna apologize. Yeah, I'm gonna apologize to everybody. Apologize to you, Gerald. Let me ask this final question here. When do we start, as you're preparing your articles? When do we start preparing for North Carolina? How do you go through the process of preparing articles, and when can we start to see those sort of game preview articles for Carolina?
Well, I feel like I'm gonna check out Carolina a little bit early, but I'm really on the same time as the football team is. Coach said they haven't even been prepping for Carolina yet. They just been trying to focus on themselves. So once the game come along, I do my studies on Carolina. See what type of team they have, and then that's when I'll start doing game previews and stuff. But I definitely think that'll be a good game. I can't wait to watch it.
So do you think we really have a chance up there? That's what, based off what you've seen in practice, do you think these boys got a chance up there?
Hey, man, anybody can be beaten. Anybody can be beaten. So it's been FCS teams beating FBS schools before. So, I mean, as long as they go out there and do what they're supposed to, and really, man, they just got to use that opportunity. Those guys that's on the team that want to play on the next level, they got to use that opportunity to, have breakout games or just good performances, because you already know the stigma that's around HBCUs and FCS programs. Is like people feel like that's not like they don't play like the highest level of competition. So if those guys go in there and do what they're supposed to, no matter if they win or lose, then they'll definitely turn some heads, man. There's already been NFL teams out at practice. I've seen the Falcons, the Bucks. Man, it's been about five teams that I've seen out at practice. So they definitely turning some heads out there in the NFL with Marquise Bell. I see he's doing good things out in Dallas. So next up, the next guy will probably be Isaiah Land, and then Xavier Smith. He's also been a guy that they've been talking to, and Chris Fadu, the kicker and the punter. He's been a guy that I've heard that they've been talking about too. So man, just they're getting there. They're getting there. So if they keep doing what they're supposed to do, man, it'll be more Florida A&M Rattlers in the league.
Let's go, man. Well, look, man, I'm trying to tell you. So have you had an opportunity to experience the vendors at FAMU as of yet? The food vendors during the football weekends and stuff like that.
No, I haven't had a chance. I mean, I went to a couple of I went to a few 220 quarterback club meetings. I don't know if you are those included, or are you talking about something else?
No, I'm talking about at the football
game. About game day.
Game day. We have a ton of vendors.
Man, I haven't gotten a game day experience. This is my first season covering FAMU, so I haven't gotten that game day experience yet. But I can't wait, man. I can't wait for the season. I feel like I'm about to be the one out there playing. I'm ready for the season start. I'm ready for homecoming, all of that. I just want to get that whole experience, man. FAMU really have a special place in my heart, man. So I'm happy to even be down here and being able to tell those guys, tell the story, and build those connections at the university too, man.
We appreciate you. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
All right. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but we're going to try. Gerald, let people know where they can find your content and how they can reach you on Twitter and Instagram and everywhere else.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've officially reached Google Me status. You Google Gerald Thompson III, first thing that pop up, Tallahassee Democrat, my whole catalog will come up. So that's how you can find me. And then, I'm on Twitter, 3PG, the number 3, PEATGEE. I also put my photos on Instagram. It's at Literary Craftsman, LITERARYCRAFTSMAN. So that's how you can find me. I get emails all the time from people from FAMU like, "Oh, you're doing a great job." I haven't gotten any angry emails yet. So everybody that shot me an email, I try to respond to them. So I really appreciate it, man. That's something that keep me going. People telling you doing a good job. When the streets stamp you, man, that's the best. That's the best feeling ever. So I'm glad that I'm doing a good job in what I'm doing, man. Because that's the reason I came down here.
We're glad you're here, bro.
You enjoy it. Yeah,
thank you.
Enjoy it while you got it, because once the season gets going, the hot bullets will be coming at you. So be ready, So enjoy it now. Hey, Gerald, man, we appreciate the time. Sorry about the technical difficulties on my end. Thank you for coming on the show, and let's do it again before we head off to Chapel Hill. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you, man.
All right. Well, let's take a short break. Come back right on the other side. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone. We'll be back in just a moment.
Maureen is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon, so now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language, and she really loves her grandson. like really loves.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Bounty versus the old family dish towel. Drying with a fresh sheet of Bounty leaves your hands cleaner than a used dish towel that can carry and redistribute food residue. So ditch the dish towel for better hand hygiene. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Itchy, squirmy, scratchy, family not getting clean? Get Charmin Ultra Strong. Go get 'em. It just cleans better. With a diamond weave texture, your family can use less while still getting clean.
Goodbye, itchy squirm.
Hello, cream bottom.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
One bite of 100% Angus beef ballpark frank, and you'll say, hello, summer. Oh yeah, it's ballpark season.
AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Sugar Chateau Desserts is a specialty bakery located in the Charlotte, North Carolina metro area. We will create delicious and one-of-a-kind treats for any occasion. Sugar Chateau is currently shipping cakes in a jar, offering a variety of different flavors in a single-serve container that can help you celebrate in accordance with social distancing. Place your orders today by calling 803-526-7895 or visiting sugarchateaudesserts.com.
What's up, fam? Welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone. We are back with the family and, of course, Gerard Thompson, who has joined us from somewhere in Florida. So,
yes,
Gerard, how you doing, man?
Well, great, guys. How you doing?
Good, good,
Doing
good.
well.
Kelvin, you up?
Yeah, Gerard, thank you for coming on. Gerard is project manager for Allstate Construction. And everybody's been seeing all these pictures on the website of the stadium and the press box and so forth. So, Gerard, what I want you to do starting off is just kind of talk about the project, how's it been going, you know, what's left, and that kind of stuff. So just kind of talk about the project, when it started and where we are right now.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Well, we're on the FAMU Bragg.
Did it freeze?
Is that me?
No, I think
he froze.
So for phase 2, it was for the home side stands, west side stands, and it involved, a presentation. My company was selected out of many, And we were very excited, as I am a graduate as well as the president of our company, Scott Brewer. So when the opportunity arose, we jumped and we're so happy to be awarded the opportunity. And so it started with demolition of all of the existing seating and pan systems and readying of the existing steel with the new paint coating to receive the new aluminum grandstands and seating systems. Obviously, this side also included a new multi-level skybox, president suites, and media areas as well. So right now, the skyboxes arrived late July, and they were set July 22nd. And we're actively completing all of the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing utilities, as well as raceways for all of the media services. And so we're really excited. Substantial completion for the project right now is August 31st. As we understand it, the first game is September 10th. And so, again, a great opportunity for Allstate Construction, myself as well. We've had a lot of great subcontractors involved with the project, a lot of great minority businesses as well. And again, we think that everyone will be pleased with respect to where we're coming from to where we are now.
Okay, so you mentioned that the project centered around the grandstands and the press box. Uh, for clarity's for the clarity's sake of our audience, uh, what is excluded? And when I'm talking about, anything to do with scoreboards, restrooms, ADA, kind of talk about the things that are included or excluded outside of what you just mentioned.
Absolutely. Well, originally, the funding were for structural upgrades and also any incidentals. As I understand it, there was potential for upgrades with respect to the facilities, restroom facilities, ADA improvements, and thus far, the major components have been, structural upgrades to also include just the grandstands and the skyboxes. So, again, this is a phased project, and depending on funding, as I understand it, subsequent phases will address new restroom facilities, adding to those to accommodate new ADA standards. Also, other amenities are on the horizon as well. Excuse me, guys. As far as the scoreboard is concerned, the existing video board at the north end zone was recently demolished. And as I understand it, temporary scoreboard will be brought in for the home games, 5 home games, I believe. And so we're also working to provide temporary steel structure to accommodate the temporary video board. So that's the extent as it relates to the north end zone video board. We've been talking to some marketing people associated with your campus, and we understand there's a great marketing on the horizon as far as utilization of the field house, as well as along the sidelines at the grandstand. So a lot was done with the limited amount of funding we had in place. And I think depending on future funding, more is to be expected.
Talk about the press box in terms of potential expansion, because I know that on both ends there's a viewing deck, and I read somewhere someone mentioned about potential expansion. So kind of just talk about the press box and that part of it.
Yes, sir. Well, the press box consists of modular units, 6 in total, and it's again 2 stories. And you're correct. They are party decks on the north and south ends of the first level of the skybox. I believe the gross square footage is around uh, mm, 13,000 square feet or 1,300. I have to check. And Yeah, it's a real nice facility. New metal wall paneling. Again, nice President Suites areas. A lot of attention was paid regarding the media and making sure spaces were provided for uh, possible ESPN broadcasts. And because of the modular nature of the skyboxes, yes, there could be a potential for future expansion to what we've just provided.
Okay, one question that I've got, Gerard, from a lot of people is the stadium seating capacity. Do you have what the anticipated number is for the stadium capacity with the changes?
Yes, and that has been a topic of concern as I've heard as well. But I think the overall general statement there will be more than enough room. Uh, excuse me. We're very confident of that. I don't have the exact uh, revised numbers, but there were some seating lost. But again, more than enough room as we understand it to accommodate future games. Uh, yes, sir.
Go for it. What you got?
Well, really, with going back to the press box, um, tell us some of the features, and will there be a wrap to the press box?
As is now, there's a metal wall panel system on the exterior of the skyboxes. And there are renovations also as well to the elevator. The entire structure was raised to an extent, and it also caused the elevator to be extended. So we're getting a new elevator as well, and that elevator system will also be it would also have the metal wall paneling system as well. So there is opportunity for a wrap if desired, I would imagine. But as is now, it'll be a dove gray metal wall panel system. And there's a approximate 8-foot wainscot brick veneer at the base of the elevator shaft. So really excited about the elevator aspect and future growth as well for the stadium. And yes, there's possibilities for wrapping and or advertising, as I understand it.
Right. So if we happen to make it to, or when we make it to the SWAC championship game we're hosting, and we need additional seating in the end zone, is that something that you guys handle, or how would that work?
Well, I would like to say we can handle it all. Obviously, if we're chosen to do any type of work, we'll be more than ready and willing. And so, working with this particular seating company, grandstand company, has been a great experience. And so, depending on what's desired, Allstate would be more than willing to accommodate and assist the university with any additional seating. Now, again, this is a phased project, so the dollars had to be utilized for the most important aspects of the upgrade. So more so to the existing green seating in the lower concrete area. That still remains, but as I understand it, there are plans to gradually have those items addressed and replaced. Also, new railing systems, and so depending on funding, we would love to be a part of in this continued success as it relates to the stadium project.
So Gerard, Can you talk a little bit about the seating company background, or in the press box company background? So the people
Absolutely.
can understand, that we're dealing with good people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, again, Allstate Construction was the construction manager selected, and we are working with a company out of Texas for the grandstands and bleachers. They did the east side prior to, and so it was a great fit for them to continue on the west side for continuity, with respect to the structural designs and engineering that took place to accommodate utilization of existing columns for new seating. But that company, Southern Bleachers, they perform the work for the grandstands and new pans. And we also work with them, with the company out of Pennsylvania, for these modular units that were built off-site and transported to the university, lifted up with a crane and set in place. So we actually took a trip, the athletic director and others, to the site just to check on the progress of the skyboxes, and it was a real great experience in Pennsylvania, Amish country, and overall we feel that we're in good hands, especially if we're involved, Allstate Construction, and it's been good working with Southern Bleachers, Mod Logic, and really all contractors, especially the MBEs on the project. Uh, Good hands, especially with Allstate. No pun intended.
Yes, it was.
Hey,
It was intended. You meant to say
hey,
it.
that was a good one, man. Unintended or not, it was a good one.
Yes,
So,
sir.
my last question,
Look,
and it's two-part, is one: are y'all comfortable with the the timeline, and comfortable that you got plenty of time to complete the task? And then number two, I know, having the facilities background and work with y'all on the other things. Go ahead and toot your horn and mention some other things that y'all done with the university.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. We've been blessed to uh, have the opportunity to make renovations and build new structures on various platforms for the university. The dining hall area was a major task for us over a short summer window, and we believe the university was pleased with that work. Over at the recreation fields, we built a outdoor restroom facility to accommodate the numerous amount of patrons that intramural fields on One-ish Way. We've helped with some different wood structures, pergolas, as it relates to the agriculture on campus as well. We've renovated the old mail facility, mail room. I guess that's kind of, yeah, old, and so it was a lot of history involved, and I really appreciate it. I know our company does. President of our company, just the opportunity to actually work on the campus and give back. So yes, we've had a established partnership, and we hope to continue it, Mr. Rozier.
Okay. Kobe, you got anything else?
well, that's pretty much it, man. He has been amazing and everything. Yeah,
Now,
that pretty
the
much does it for me.
the timeline, it that was a question. I'm not overlooking it. We understand the game is September 10th, and so the game will go on, and there may be little things here. If you're familiar with the construction industry, substantial completion. But Allstate is a partner. We've dedicated and committed to being there on the first home game, to assist with any and all aspects of the renovation, and just to let everybody know that we're here to support. But yes, we will be ready. The everyday afternoon rain has been a concern. Delayed materials coming on the tail end, depending on who you ask, as far as the pandemic. But fortunately, we've been able to navigate all of those obstacles, and I would say we're coming in sliding sideways, but the game will go on.
Awesome.
Hubba.
Awesome. Well, Gerard, I want to thank you personally for coming in and short notice and kind of giving us an update on where we stand with the stadium. I've been there a couple of times, took pictures. I've seen the work Vaughn does for y'all in terms of the videos and so forth. And
Yes,
he
sir.
does. I have to say, he does an awesome job with that too. And
Yes, he does.
we appreciate you all and the company for the partnerships, and you've always been there and reliable and follow up and actually go beyond Call of Duty. So you pass that on to your group also, and we
Sure.
appreciate you, man.
Thank you. You guys, it's been the first time that I really had the opportunity to see this production, and it's been nice, and I truly appreciate it.
Well, they got
All
Jake
right.
from State Farm, so we got Gerard from Allstate. Who on the phone? Gerard
Yes, sir.
from Allstate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, then we're gonna bounce out of this segment and take a break, and we'll be back in about two and a half. All right.
Sounds
y'all
good.
later.
See you on game day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's go.
All right,
Hubba,
Mel,
man.
you
So
can
I
take
guess
us
we're
to
going to
break.
be back in a couple of minutes.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching say, make this for my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching, hey, motivation.
This is Carlos Brown, letting you know that we're on the move. You can now catch the Carlos Brown Show beginning this July on the Black College Sports Network each and every Saturday from 11 to 1 Eastern Time. That's 10 to 12 Central Time. Same time, new place. On Facebook at the Carlos Brown Show and Black College Sports Network. Online at www.mybcsn.net and on the BCSN app available on Google Play and the Apple App Store.
You see, Head & Shoulders has Scalp Shield technology, protects against flakes even between washes. It's never not working.
Kind of like us. Number 15?
Never not working.
I don't like this one.
Me neither.
Let's get out of here.
Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield, never not working.
All right, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Hopefully my connection is a little bit better. I can never tell. I had to do some rearranging the alignment. Shout out to Kelvin, Kofi. You guys did a great job with Gerard Thompson. Thank you for coming on. Joining us right now, as you can see, FAMU Hall of Famer, legend, the GOAT, color commentator on the Rattler Sports Network, Mr. Albert Chester. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, man. Glad to see you guys, and I'm getting that itch, man. It's about that time. Let's go back.
Yes, sir.
I was gonna say, are you ready for some Rattler football? Yes, sir.
No doubt about it, man. I tell you, I feel like I can still play, but I have to warm up to put my clothes on, so I know that's out.
Yeah, you know, how long would that warm up process be? A few minutes, not seconds, probably hours, maybe.
How about days, man? I tell you that. Hey, man, I'm really excited about the season. I think it's going to be a great year. A lot of good things are happening on campus. Obviously, I was able to stick my head in and hear the last tail end of that last conversation about the stadium renovations. It's all good, man. I tell you what, and we're excited about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, obviously, let's kind of start. Obviously, new renovations in the stadium. You're going to be in a new broadcast booth. Sadly, you're going to be without your broadcast partner, the Hall of Famer himself, Mr. Mike Thomas. You know, we lost a good Rattler. Impacted so many lives. The voice, one of the voices. I mean, been around with the Rattler Sports Network for some 30 years. What are just some of your thoughts on Mike? Maybe some thoughts or maybe some stories or things that a lot of us who didn't get a chance to know Mike as well as you have gotten to know him or have known him over these years that might bring a good smile to our faces.
Well, I tell you what, Mike was a grad assistant when I was in school, when we were in school, and didn't know him as well as I got to know him over the last few years. I tell you what, he's an encyclopedia of history. First and foremost, he loved FAMU, no doubt about it. You cut him, he bleed orange and green. But the guy was, second to Alvin Hollins. I know it may be a photo finish. Those two guys have all the history of FAMU, the rich history and tradition of FAMU football and athletics and sports wrapped around their brain, man. I tell you what, I'm gonna miss Mike. Mike and I had a challenging year last year. Obviously, he was a little ill, but I tell you what, he enjoyed every minute of the broadcast, both football and basketball. Solid guy, and sad to see him check out on us. But I tell you what, I know he's smiling down because he loved what we were doing and had an appreciation for it, and wanted to make sure that we protect the brand and represented the university the best we could.
What was some of the pregame thoughts or notes that you and he would go through? I know, having done broadcasts from that chair as a play-by-play person, and I've had a chance to work with some good color people. You know, you have that maybe 15-30 minutes before it's time to go on the air. What are some of the things that maybe you and he would talk about as how you wanted to present the game, or maybe topics or things? Take us behind the scenes on what that was like.
Well, I tell you what, one of the things Mike was very good at, and just like all the guys who I work with, big on preparation. I mean, I think that this time of the year we would meet actually doing tour days and check out the team, check out the players. So we prepared ourselves. It's more than just getting up and talking about the game, as you mentioned, on Saturday afternoon, but the preparation that we put in. We actually had a little more than 30, 40 minutes together because we spent a lot of time together and talked about how we could make people feel like they were part of what we were doing. If you weren't watching the game on television, or if you had just a listening ear, we wanted you to feel like you were at the ball game with us. And we wanted to make sure that we gave you the best we got. You know, we talked about highlights, highlighting the great work, obviously, that Coach Simmons has been doing, his staff, highlighting some of the key players. We would always go through the top players of the game, and then what we thought were the keys to victory. And he was very good at that. And then, of course, he had a knack for saying the right thing, and we come up with nicknames for players and so forth and so on. I tell you what, it was a tremendous time. Great time to work with Mike. Had big time fun, and we enjoyed each other. I think we complimented each other very well. We got a lot of. We actually received texts during the game from folk, and they would help share some of the things that we talked about. They would bring in some ideas, and it was always a festive atmosphere, if you will. But we wanted to make sure that fans felt like they were right there at the ball game. In fact, we encouraged them, if the game was on television, watch it on TV, turn the volume down, and listen to me and Mike do our thing.
Calvin, go ahead.
So the obvious question in transitioning from that is, what does the broadcast booth look like for this upcoming season? Have that discussion been had? Can you share anything with us?
Well, I tell you what, I haven't had no one has shared anything with me. Obviously, missing Mike is going to be huge. Replacing Mike, filling his shoes is going to be tremendous. So I couldn't tell you yet. I know that I plan to be there, and I think some decisions are being made on who the play-by-play guys are going to be. Hopefully, we'll have some answers here in the next 48 hours. But whoever it is, I'm excited to work with them. Excited about protecting the brand, and again, missing on Mike. You know, a lot of people don't know Mike. Mike was a tremendous athlete as well. He touched a lot of lives. I think, as someone's already mentioned, having coached at FAMU High and several places around the Tallahassee area. He actually went to school on a basketball scholarship himself. He didn't stay long up there in the Northeast, but he got out of there. But talked about playing with CJ and on all the things that they did at FAMU High. But I mean, he was a defensive back too. And at some time during his career, shortly after I left, I think in the early 80s, he was able to work his way into the offensive coordinator position for Coach Hubbard. And he and I tell you what, since his passing, I've you see his the reflections that players and teammates alike who made commentary about Mike, and everybody talked about what a great coach he was, great person and knowledgeable. He didn't yell, he didn't make a lot of noise, but I tell you what, when he did speak, he spoke volumes.
Absolutely. My next follow-up question to that, Al, is, so we got a lot of accolades in preseason All-Americans on special teams unit, offensive receiver, defense, pass rush, so forth. We got a lot of returning talent. We brought in a lot of new talent. Same thing with the coaching staff. You know, we had some changes there. Just kind of give the fans kind of the lay of land, what you anticipate, what you see preseason going into this season.
Well, I tell you what, anytime you have success on the football field, there are going to be some transactions, transactions, whether it be players out, coaches out. And first and foremost, I'm still glad that we still got Coach Simmons hanging around. The second thing is, when you got good coaches, and again, when you're winning, people are going to reach out and tap some of those guys on the shoulders. We lost a lot of great players last year, but we got a lot of depth, and we were able to take advantage of some opportunities with kids jumping in the portal and coming to FAMU, and we're backfilling some slots, and I think we've upgraded. Quarterback room is going to be interesting. The wide receivers always have been top shelf. The running back by committee, we picked up a couple of running backs. Some I know that's going to help. We're going to miss Bishop, who provided a lot of exciting plays last year. The O-line, I think, has been boosted up as well. And all that's good. I mean, because what you want to do, you want good competition. Competition is the food that creates great play. And I think that Coach Simmons was able to bring in, again, I take at least two new coaches, and with talent who've been around both college and professional football. And we're excited to have them on board. Welcome to the family, and FAMU family, that is. And I'm just excited about what we're going to see. Of course, being an old quarterback, I'm really watching that quarterback room. You know, I'm expecting our quarterback who led us, Rashad, last year to 9 victories. I mean, I tell you what, saw him mature as a quarterback. I mean, here's a kid that didn't start but 1 year in high school, and to watch him grow to the kind of quarterback that he is. I mean, he won some games late, threw the ball around very well, made preseason and made some all-star honors. And then we got a transfer kid in from Vanderbilt, and you got Junior, and you got several other guys who've been hanging around there, man. I tell you, we got some guys who can play, and I think right now, Coach Simmons, I read something where he said that he's got 3 guys at quarterback right now that he feels like he can win with. Now, in today's college football, the way we throw the football around, you got to have guys ready to go. That position, you got to have consistent play. And the person who's pulling that trigger, man, we got to have top flight play all the time. And getting the ball to the right person, reading the coverage, making good decisions, providing super leadership on and off the field. That's the kind of quarterback we need. And then I think things are gonna really turn out to be very good. Now, it all starts up front. So, I mean, I'm a big offensive line guy. We got to have people to push people around. If you don't have people blocking and pushing people around up front, it ain't going to happen. Same thing on the other side of the football. And then, of course, you got Isaiah Lamb, man. He's the baddest guy on the planet right now, man. I tell you what, I'm glad he decided to come back and finish business at FAMU. He had an opportunity, I think, to go to some Division I schools and opted to come on back. And that's tremendous. I mean, super athlete, super kid in terms of preparing himself to be the best that he can be. And I've been watching those guys in the weight room, man, via Facebook and other electronic equipment, man, and they picking up the gym. I mean, they look real good. I hope all this translates into some good football as we open up against North Carolina. And every time we put it on now, we expect to win. So, I mean, I don't care anything about who we're playing. I think every time we line up, though, we expect to win.
Yes, sir.
Well said. Well said. Kofi.
But Coach, so what games are you looking forward to the most now, of calling the most at this time? What games are you most anticipating seeing?
Well, Kofi, I'm going to tell you, being an ex-quarterback again, now, I take them one at a time. So the most important game is the next game. So we open up against North Carolina in a couple of weeks, and that's the game I'm looking forward to. I think that it's going to be a good test for our football team. It's going to be great exposure for our program and all the things that Willie Simmons is doing. And then we'll reload the next week. But the most important game is the next game, and the next game we have on our schedule is the Tar Heels of North Carolina.
Let's go. Let's go, Coach.
Hey,
so tell me about this. I got a question about option play, right? So you ran the option. I want to say Coach Hubbard came in and said that it was a kind of spread option attack. What's the difference between that attack that we had back in the day and the flex bone that Georgia Southern ran?
Well, they ran probably the type option where the quarterback read the tackle and the end. And the way we ran the option, we read the end. And the whole key to running that option as a quarterback, you want to attack. Georgia Southern, for example, what the quarterback would do would ride the fullback in between the guard center gap or even the guard tackle gap, depending on the formation of the defense. And they would actually read the tackle, read his play. If he went inside, they pull it out. If he stayed outside, they leave it in. And then you go down to the defensive end. You want to attack the inside leg, make him commit one way or the other, and then you option off of him. Make him, you got to be the better athlete, make the decision to either pitch the ball or run the football. We did more of attacking that defensive end as opposed to reading the tackle inside because we blocked him down. We blocked down, freed up the defensive end. And again, the whole technique to being successful in running that option, you have to attack the inside leg, make him turn that shoulder. If he didn't turn the shoulder, you could pitch. So it was a good read. We had guys, obviously the big Tyrone McGriff and the great linemen that we had, and then of course Mike Solomon, Melvin McFadden, and Ike Williams running the football. Man, I tell you what, we ran it so well, and we were so precision with it. And I was telling a guy the other day, practice with Rudy Hubbard was, and we talked about Mike. One of the things they talk about great coaches, they organize. And one of the things Rudy did was everything was organized. We go from individual drills to team drills, but we were so adapt to running that option, man, that whether you will run the first, second, or third, or fourth team, when in individual drills, we run this option, man. And if anybody messed up, we start all over, because that was the backbone to our offense. Now we could throw the football, but that wasn't Rudy's way, But that whole option attack, it gave our guys an opportunity to create plays. And then if you got to have a quarterback who can scoot a little bit too. Now nowadays, you got guys who can take it to the house. You want a guy who can at least get you 10 yards and a fresh set of downs. And one of the things you got to be patient with that option as well. It's a high risk offense, and you got to be careful.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a breakdown, Mr. Chester. Hey, look, before we let you get out of here, I got a question. Okay, so North Carolina's coming up, Power 5 opponent. Take us into what the mindset of, let's just go into the quarterback room. I'm not going to ask about a particular quarterback, but I'm interested in the mindset of QB 1, 2, 3, because who knows which one is going to get the call. What are some things that player needs to have or be able to do against that opponent or that type of opponent at the beginning of the season?
Well, the first thing you want to do is you got to prepare yourself. And Willie probably hadn't even inserted the offense for the North Carolina. They haven't started preparing for that game just yet. I'm sure they're still in two-a-days. But the week in preparation, as you start preparing for that team, you want to look at their personnel as a quarterback. I mean, that's what I would do. Pop Kittles and I would watch film like a baby sucking a bottle. We watch so much film because what you want to do is identify the key personnel. Sometimes it's challenging with it being the first game of the season, but you can look back on some of the players from previous season, and see what they like to do. You try to identify any weaknesses and strengths, and then how do you match up against them? And of course, all the quarterbacks got to be ready to play. Everybody should be ready to play. I'm pretty sure that someone is going to have some idea who the guy's going to be before we take off to go to North Carolina. Even though someone may be identified, you still want to have everybody ready to play. All the quarterbacks got to be ready to go. I think that from a game management standpoint, you want to manage the football, manage the game, not make big mistakes. And you can't play scared. And that's why I'm saying I think that, they put their pants on one leg at a time, just like we do. And I don't care about them being Power 5. Anything can happen on any given day. And every time we line up, we expect to win. But as a quarterback, you want to prepare yourself prior to getting to the game, obviously, by studying film, studying your opponent, studying the personnel, whether it be the defensive line, the linebacker play, what they like to do in the secondary. Some corners like to play inside, some like to play outside. We like to throw the football around. So we know we got some guys. We got tight ends and slot guys who I think are going to be very effective in our passing game this year. We got two big tight ends and an array of wide receivers who can get it done, and then the running game. So what I like to do is a game like this, bust them in the mouth early. I tell you what I would do. I would jump offside on the first play and bust them in the mouth and let them know this is what it's going to be like all day long, baby. This is Rattler football.
That's old school, yeah.
I love that. That's old school. I love that. I love that. Hey, Kelvin, Kofi, any final questions or anything for Mr. Chester before we let him get out of here?
Any predictions on the season? What's going to be our record?
Say that again?
What's going to be our record?
We're going to beat everybody we play. Everybody we line up to play, we're going to beat them. I mean, that's how I'm going to take it one. And I tell you, Coach, being old school like that, I don't like to jump out there and talk about that because I think that, like I've said all night, every time we line up to play, we expect to win. Anything can happen. We just take them one game at a time. The most important game is the very next game. Right now, it's North Carolina. That's all I see. I like for us to, in a couple of weeks, be talking, and we're 1-0, getting ready to go to Miami to play Jackson State. and then we'll talk some more about that game. But right now, the prediction is let's stay healthy. Let's play good, solid football. Let's play sound, fundamental football. Everybody do their job, and let everything take care of itself. We want the fans to come out and support us, and let's have a good time and enjoy.
Let's go.
Kelvin, do you have anything you want to?
No, man, he did that so beautiful, so masterfully. I'm not gonna touch that. I'm not gonna mess it up.
Well, I tell you what, guys. You know, I wanted to again my sincere
that's why he's
the GOAT.
My sincere condolences to Mike's family, and I'll be there on Saturday for his service, homegoing service, and hopefully I'll see you guys and get a chance to maybe peep the 2022 version of the Rattler football team, and maybe we'll have us a play-by-play guy by that time. Either way it go, snakes bite, Rattlers strike.
Walk-off. That's a walk-off. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Mr. Albert Chester with another great walk-off. That one was a keeper heading to the end zone. And we thank Mr. Chester for coming in and joining us. Be well, sir, and we'll see you in Chapel Hill. And during the course of this season, we'll talk again. Thank you, Mr. Chester. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. That was a great walk-off right there. That was a nice little fake the pitch, keep it going right into the end zone on that one. That was classic, Mr. Chester, Albert Chester. Man, we got so many. We have so many great legends in our bag. I really hope the younger Rattlers, you know, those who are a generation behind us, appreciate these guys that, you know, the ones that we're losing, the ones that we still have, because there's so much history and knowledge. And of course, as you know, there it is, Michael Thomas. As Mr. Chester just said, his homecoming will be this weekend. I don't have any of the particular details. I don't know if there is a viewing or private, you know, so I would encourage anyone to maybe FAMUathletics.com. Hopefully we'll post some information. Those of you who are in the Tallahassee area, you may know of information in terms of that. Anything that we see, we'll retweet on Twitter. But if especially, you know, just keep the Thomas family in your thoughts and prayers. And we'll definitely miss Mike's voice. It's been decades since we haven't had his voice associated with a FAMU football game. So that will be missed indeed. Let's take a short break, come back. We're going to finish our discussion, Kofi, that we started talking about, obviously, from this past weekend, our call to action. We hope those of you, I know we saw some letters that some people had sent. We appreciate those of you who did send your letters to the Board of Trustees sharing your concerns.
They can still send.
FAMU athletics. Yes, thank you. We want to encourage you to still send. Don't think that just because the meeting between the trustees and Dr. Robinson is coming to a close that you can't send your letter. You can, and all it takes is one. And that one letter, you can choose to send in a group email to all the trustees, or you can do individually. I know I did mine individually. I think, Kofi, you may have done yours as a group email. Individual. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, we put all the email addresses out there. Do we have that picture, Mel? Do we have the picture of the trustees and DLR, as I like to abbreviate him? There's from earlier to this evening. If a picture could talk 1,000 words, you know, there it is. Everybody's striking for change. Everybody's striking, huh? Everybody's striking. So we'll see what we're striking about. I mean, maybe still not anyway. All right, let's go to a break and come back. We'll share our thoughts on that topic and more on the other side. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll see. We're still live here, so maybe I will see if our producer, if she didn't fall asleep on us.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat. Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure.
It's wireless.
Pick something we all like.
Okay, hold on.
What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable. That's a really tight spot. Don't worry. I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you. All of you.
I got you. I got you. I know. Hey, are you up for playing the audio from?
Go ahead, Bragg. I'm just
I know. You about to catch one from distance.
That's why when it comes to your auto,
the
home,
FAMU
and
volleyball
life insurance needs,
clips. Are
make
you able
things
to run
simple
those
and
now?
trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage.
Okay,
that
we'll
fits
do
your
that
needs
coming out of
while
the break.
helping you bundle your life,
All right,
home,
we'll do
and
that
auto
coming out of the
policies.
break.
Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact
Chicken
me
wings or
to
Pizza
get
Hut?
your
Or
local
both?
agent
Hey, that's
for
the
a
best
Or
guy
both.
to eat.
personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
Let's get back to strolling instead of scrolling. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your fam.
I think we're live. Our mics
This is
are
the
live.
Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Time to call a credit repair company to fix my credit. Hold the phone, man. You can do it yourself with Credit Versio. That's way too hard. Call the credit repair company. Most credit repair companies only work on 1 or 2 accounts at a time, making it slow and expensive. You won't figure that out for months. Ignore him. Credit Versio's brilliant software scans all 3 credit bureaus, finds the accounts that are hurting your score, and guides you through the entire process. Anyone can do it. Let's fast forward and see the results. Wow, I fixed my own credit and saved hundreds. You can do this. Visit creditversio.com.
They say things are bigger in Texas. Well, Texas Cowboy Dust delivers big flavors every time. A flavorful blend of onion, Himalayan pink salt, dried shiitake mushrooms, and other ingredients that pair marvelously with steak, other red meats, and just about anything else you can cook. This versatile blend is all you need.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
All right, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, Kofi, man, what a night it's been, man. Just to show, hey, look, this thing ain't easy, folks. You know, don't let anybody fool you. You know, sometimes, Kelvin, look, we throw a perfect game, And sometimes you just get a game where it's just like the score is 15-15. You have good innings and bad innings. You know what I'm saying? Good offense, bad defense. You just keep playing, and eventually you hope to come out with a win, right?
There you go. Absolutely.
Let's go to some sound bites from the FAMU volleyball coach, Coach Gokhan Yilmaz, as well as our SWAC Player of the Year, Dominique Washington. They were given a few great sound bites about the start of the season, start of practice, and some of the expectations. So if you didn't get a chance to see or hear any of the comments from Coach Gokhan or Dominique, you guys need to make sure you're following at FAMU_VB. That's FAMU Volleyball. Or obviously the retweets are always coming via FAMU Athletics. But let's play a few of those sound bites from Coach Gokhan and then from Dominique.
Well, it was a good first practice. We have a lot of talent coming back, and we added some good talent as well. We have a couple of kids that need to get back with it, and I think it's going to take a couple of days medically and all that type of stuff, but that's always the case in preseason. That's why we're practicing. We're happy with the group we have. I think they get along very well and a lot of talent, so hopefully we'll keep improving to what we started last year. We are one of the programs that had really tremendous luck with the transfer portal. I think those kids came in here, and I think my personality matches very well with them. How mature they're coming in. We wait a little bit longer than what we normally do, but we're happy with the talent that's here. Now it's a matter of putting everything together so we can be a good team again. We are one of the...
Yeah, I think that will definitely help us with just movement on the court, the pace of the game. It will definitely put us in the higher end of the conference going into conference play, because having a hard preseason, I think it's necessary to be successful within conference, and especially for post-conference and the championship, because when you play these teams, it's good volleyball. It's not many errors, so it helps you when you go into the conference play. Yeah, I think that will definitely help.
Okay, again, those were some of the comments from yesterday via FAMU Volleyball, FAMU_VB. Of course, the last clip there was 2021 SWAC Player of the Year, Dominique Washington, talking about the tough non-conference schedule that the Rattlers are going to have this year. And then you also heard Coach Gokhan talking about the 5 transfers, as well as comments about the first practice. We talked about this volleyball team playing, I think, 4 or 5 top 100 teams in terms of volleyball this upcoming season. So real high expectations for this team, but I'm real excited about this team, and this should be a good year. Any thoughts or comments as you guys seen the early photos, some of the highlights, some of the comments, anything you want to share or add, Kelvin or Kofi?
I mean, yeah.
The coach,
the excitement speaks for itself.
Yeah, it's warranted. We have a good team. We have a lot of returning players who have a lot of accolades. We only lost one major contributor from last year's team. And then we brought in, as you coach stated, and we talked about, a lot of transfer talent that actually played though at a high level. These are kids coming in that have been successful where they're coming from. And to add that to what we have, man, I mean, the expectations are through the roof, just like with football, and rightfully so. And so I'm excited, man. I think we got 2 championship teams in the fall sports, and that's the expectation.
Yeah. Again, probably the two biggest transfers might have been the last two that we pulled in, which came from Jada Taylor, who was the defensive libero of the year, defensive player of the year just 2 seasons ago, transferred from Grambling State. And then Nina Sharpton, who came from North Carolina State. She was a highly recruited player, had a great first year at North Carolina State, and so it's a bit of a homecoming for her as we play her former team to sort of open the regular season. So that'll be good for those ladies and high expectations. We'll look to try to have maybe one or a couple of those young ladies on the show next week or the week after. I know it's a lot going on. We already got a couple guests lined up for next week, but we'll try to see if we can work in a volleyball player going into next week. Also, real quick, little side note, we can't go without giving a shout out to our friend of the O&G, our moderator, the one and only Dr. Lori, who had a big day out in the Hamptons. Of course, her book right there, Black Women Dentist. Of course, she had a big book signing out in Martha's Vineyard today. And by her reports, big time sellout. All books sold out. So that is great. There's a few pics. Dr. Lori with some of the folks who came out to see her at the gallery, where her book sold out. And now the only place that you can buy the book is on Amazon.com. If we could go back one graphic there, Mel, producer Mel, and let's show again, let people know how you can go. There's the book. Go to Amazon.com beginning midnight. That's at midnight Eastern, Amazon.com. You can pick up the book. Make sure that there's a way that you can make a donation by making sure, that you mention FAMU. I think there's even a way that you can purchase the book and contribute to the National Alumni Association. I think there's like some special Amazon code or something like that, which you can kind of tie in both. You could, you can purchase the book and you could be given a contribution to the National Alumni Association through Amazon as well. I mean, I know you guys are familiar with that, Kelvin. I see you shaking your head. You're familiar with that a little bit. But I know there's a way to do that. I think you'd have to go to the National Alumni Association page to kind of get the particulars. But congratulations again to Dr. Lori. I know she said she'll be back and moderating. Dr. Strachan's in there doing a great job moderating today. So we appreciate Doc for taking care of things for us. And just again, want to encourage you guys to go support Dr. Lori there with that book and share it. I think it was episode two episodes ago. You can go back and listen to our interview with Dr. Lori, and hopefully this book, whether you purchase and read it for yourself or purchase it and share it with the young person, who opportunity to inspire and change someone's life by sharing the stories that are within that book. So looking forward to that. Let's go to what we talked about earlier, Kofi. Let's kind of if you're ready to go, because we talked about this campaign that we put before, that call to action for everybody. You had mentioned you wanted me to read your letter. You wanted to read mine. I'm like, yeah, do I want you to read my letter? I'm like, go ahead. It's all good. If you feel it touched you and you feel you want to share it, I'm okay with that, and I can do vice versa if that's, or you could just read yours. It's up to you.
I got you, man. I'm reading yours. I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and I'm gonna skip around just a little bit. It says, Dear Trustee,
Gotcha.
The FAMU brand is one of the top HBCU brands in America. It is one of the few HBCUs that non-Black people and businesses in this country know by name. We've set ourselves apart as a school that produces great leaders, history makers, and contributors to society in nearly every aspect of American life. We have lived up to the motto that has become synonymous with Dr. Frederick Humphrey's excellence with caring, which I
Snipe.
What happened? Go ahead.
He
Keep
got
going.
sniped, I think.
He was there. Did he? He's
His
still there.
video is behind his audio. No, his video is behind his audio.
Okay. Well, we'll give
Yeah,
it
he's
give
gone.
you a
He got
second there.
logged back in, I think.
Oh, really? All right. Let me see if I can pick up where I'm a
check.
bit humbled that he would actually yeah, we got you.
There you go.
You got me? All right.
We got
The
you. Go
beloved
ahead.
athletics
Finish.
arm of our university has been neglected and misled over the last 20 years through the dozens of presidential leaders and athletic directors that have held the position since the late President Humphreys and Coach Ken Riley, who served as president and athletic director respectively. The very public problems with FAMU athletics of late have been problems for years. Sadly, our administrative leadership, currently under the direction of Dr. Larry Robinson, has shown little or to no concern in resolving these problems by actively getting involved, finding the right person to do the job that will allow FAMU athletics to grow and create a successful plan of action that will allow this department to be as valuable to the university as other schools, such as the School of Business and Industry, College of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, Institute of Public Health, School of Nursing, and the FAMU FSU College of Engineering or College of Law, just to name a few. As a Board of Trustee member for FAMU, I implore you to get involved and be more determined than ever in seeing that Dr. Robinson immediately and swiftly address the state of FAMU athletics, his short and long-range goals for the growth of FAMU athletics, and finding an athletic director that understands the current landscape of college athletics and has the creative ideas and team management skills that will grow FAMU into a better position than it currently is over the next 10 years. Should you find that Dr. Robinson is not capable of making this valuable and historic front doorstep to our great university again, I plead with you to find leadership that understands how a well-functioning athletic department can add tremendous value to our university. Thank you for your time and consideration. Blessings to you and the work that you have and are doing for the betterment of FAMU. Excellent.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That just hit my. I've been working on that mentally for several days, and it just kind of hit my heart at that point in time. Anything you want to add, Kelvin, in there? Anything?
No, the only thing I'll add is that first of all, that was well balanced in how you structured that, and of course, we've seen other, we've received other letters that were sent to the trustees from other alumni, and it just goes back to what we've been talking about since we've been on this platform. Do more with more, and we give a damn. And we got to just continue to drive that. And, you know, we got to just do more than talk. We got to be about action. And we've got to ask the leaders to be about action also. So I applaud the effort. And I like the response that we're getting. And we just want FAMU athletics to be excellent and how we operate and how we budget, how we fund it. And so let's continue.
Yeah.
Now, as you read my letter,
I don't know.
you can use fictitious names so that people won't be overly offended with certain things that's in that. But we'll get to the point. But go ahead.
Yeah, let me. I'm trying to work through that. Trying to.
You don't have to put their name out there
see.
on the thing.
Yeah. I'm
You can
gonna
say
have to
brother
call.
so
Let
and
me say
so.
he.
When it get to the fiasco part, say brother so and so.
All right. So if I catch myself, it's because I'm trying to figure out. Okay. This is Kofi's letter. Greetings, trustees. As we embark on another school year on the highest of 7 hills, I desire for Florida A&M to be successful in every area. FAMU's motto is excellence with caring, and there is no doubt that we care about our performance academically. Our ranking as the #1 public HBCU for 2 years running provides consistent evidence of FAMU's commitment to excelling academically. As you meet today and tomorrow, I wanted to communicate my concerns about the apparent lack of dedication, direction, accountability, and commitment to our athletics program. Lately, the cycle of dysfunction has been at an all-time high. We currently lack coaches in multiple sports. There has been a constant turnover of athletic personnel. There has been little to no fundraising. We have underperformed with our APR. Despite the size of our university and fan base, our athletic budget is not conducive to our overall success. In addition, Bragg Stadium was almost condemned. Our AD has not had complete control over the budget and infrastructure. One would think that with the president's involvement, things would get better, but things have gotten considerably worse. The president's perceived lack of concern and unwillingness to acknowledge the concerns or communicate with the constituents of FAMU is completely unacceptable. When things are this inefficient and inconsistent, it should be the responsibility of leadership to provide a contingency plan. The mere fact that President R knew the issues he was having with him and his plan to make a change, even though he had not considered his replacement, is absurd. President R should have had a short list available so that the search time for an AD could have been shortened and the current issue could be addressed. FAMU deserves better. He has never shown an interest in seeing that FAMU was successful in athletics. Consequently, the budget has decreased. We've lost championship coaches and compliance staff. We're losing athletes in our Olympic sports. Players are being mistreated and overlooked. Scandals are constant. In addition, the fiasco with RA should not be overlooked. His willingness to both engage and listen to the counsel of RA regarding our men's track coach is ridiculous. If the allegations are true, this puts FAMU in jeopardy of once again demonstrating a lack of institutional control. Our championship golf coach is headed to Prairie View largely because President R and AD did not respond in a timely fashion to his emailed concerns. I'm a firm believer that the wrong stuff will stop happening when the right person are in the right people are in position. I also believe that as long as President R is in position, FAMU athletics will not go to the next level. FAMU has an outstanding tradition, but athletically and academically, should say both athletically and academically, FAMU deserves to have leadership that ensures its consistent success. Sincerely, Kofi P. Hemingway. Strong words, Kof. Strong words. Strong words. And of course, I tried to do what I can to abbreviate names and such, but it is what it is, right? Comments there, Kelvin?
None needed. It's all good.
What was your inspiration, Kofi, as you're putting that together? What were some of your thoughts? And you've been, what I love about you is you not shy away from anything. Very vocal here in this platform. What were your thoughts there as you were drafting this?
Well, I just want to see FAMU prosper, bro. I mean, that's really the motivation. I want to see us be at a level of efficiency. I mean, we have a president that's a nuclear physicist. He's a problem solver. He's a scientist. He likes information. It's just unfortunate that his ear has been turned. And lately, in my opinion, he's shown a lack of humility and just a lack of wisdom about simple stuff. Just going back to the whole thing in regards to, let's say, even our dorms, with having this dorming crisis. We had an opportunity years ago to be a part with the P3 formation, with putting that into plan, putting that into action. We had an opportunity to get 2,100 additional beds. 2,100 additional beds. And if we had those, which would have been open this year, we would not have a housing crisis. But since we have a president right now that does not have an eye on the future the way that he should, and doesn't have people around him that have an eye on the future, we have a crisis. And that's the danger of having somebody in position that apparently is inept and borderline, just, I want to say, incompetent. And it is what it is. So I just want to see us prosper, man. I want to see us go to the next level. And I definitely want to see us, prosper in both academics, and I want to see us prosper athletically. I just want to see us win. That's the motivation.
I agree. I mean, we excel so high at the academic level. And again, it's what I've sort of come to this vision of, that we're sort of operating like an Ivy League program or an Ivy League school, without the deep Ivy League foundation budget pockets,
We're breaking up. Is that me? That's me.
No, it's probably me. Who knows? And we're also without the how do I want to say this? Without the desire to like winning championships is not going to define who we are. If I'm making sense there, the Ivy League schools don't make a fuss about winning championships. They don't even make a fuss about TV right. Think about some of the topics that are happening right now in HBCU football. What do they all surround? Media rights, television, money, athletics, right? Have you heard any Ivy League school? Have you heard any Ivy League school talking about any of that? No.
They got billion-dollar foundations and billionaires who are alumni. So, they are.
They ain't hurt for nothing.
They're in a different category, right? They're a niche. So, but we all grew up in the Humphreys era on campus, man. Where we were both. We were elite academically and we were elite athletically, and so it's not an either or thing. And I don't know why we've become a place where leadership seems to say we can only do one. We need to do both. We got championship caliber coaches and players on our team. We got kids going to professional leagues now, and we're competing. The coaches are doing their part, and now it's time for the university to do their part to sustain this. And this is what this ever is all about. We need to be about the business of athletics.
You said a key word in that, Kelvin, that I want, and this is why I've come to this thought process of why things are progressing and how they are what they are. You said that Ivy Leagues are a niche, right? Some people might consider HBCUs a niche. Agree or disagree?
They are. No, they are. They have their own traditions and so forth. Absolutely.
And that's why I keep coming back to this thought that we have presidents at schools who that's how they think. I mean, and look, I want to be about the business of athletics. I mean, that's why, I flat out, you know, but, and I think there is a balance, but I do think until we can get people in place that can understand how to function in both spaces, we will have what we have. I'm
Gotcha.
I just, I don't know.
We have what we have. To your point.
Yes. 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 Hey, look, can we talk about the planned guests for next week? Let me ask this, Kelvin, if I mention it, the likelihood of it happening, does it go down or will it stay about the same?
Have no idea. Let's hold on to it for a couple of days.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, all right. So let's just say next week you want to tune in. Big time guest coming next week. Hopefully. Not gonna mention it. Just gonna say big time guest. Make sure you're tuned in. And we'll see. We'll keep our fingers crossed and pray that it happens. Who knows? Somebody may catch wind of this show, and who knows what'll happen from here. But who knows? We not gonna shy away from it. We not gonna shy away from it. It is what it is. Hey, 17 days until I've already started scouting North Carolina A&T, or North Carolina guys. Just kind of put that out there for you. That game is 17 days away. I already started looking at what that team's going to look like, and we'll go from there. Before we check out of here, any thoughts, any final thoughts before we close up the show, Kelvin, and then I'll come to you, Kofi.
The one thought I have is I'm looking for movement and action. I've heard some things, in terms of the AD search. So I'm hopeful next week sometime that we'll have some candidates, some finalists for the position, and some movement with the committee on that. Hopefully we'll know by on Monday's meeting, the end of Monday's meeting. But that's what I'm hearing, and I know we need to move forward because we have the golf position open, we have the track position open. So yeah, we need to solidify the leadership in that area. So that's what I'm looking for going into next week, as well as the last scrimmage.
Softball.
I think I'm gonna find my way to that last scrimmage this Saturday, and I'll get my firsthand thoughts on it.
Yes. We need some eyes there. So yeah, we need you in the house if you can be there. Definitely. Yeah. All right. Kofi, any final thoughts before we close out tonight?
Just staying prayerful, man, over the season, that we can just get through this, get to the season, get started. Let's get these season tickets, and let's get this energy level up so we can get some people in Miami. I am telling you that J-State people are coming in droves. They're coming in droves. There'll be more J-State people there this year than there were last year. Let's not get outnumbered. Let's make sure that we have a home field advantage in, I want to say Joe Robbie Stadium, but at Hard Rock.
Blockbuster Stadium.
Yeah, Joe
Hard
Robbie
Rock
Stadium.
Stadium.
Blockbuster Stadium. There you go. Blockbuster Stadium. Yeah.
Blockbuster so obsolete, man.
I'm trying to be like I'm trying to be like Albert Chester. I'm trying to focus on 17 days, but my mind is on 25 days, to be honest. 25 days. I've been carrying around this angst about that school from Mississippi, and I feel like I
Yeah,
just give me
whatever.
26 days away from feeling great again. That's all I can say.
Let's go.
Yeah. So yeah, let's go. Hey, I want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks for dealing with us and bearing with us through, I know, my own personal technical difficulties. I know Kelvin had some earlier. It's just been one of those shows today, but we powered through it. Got to give a shout out to Gerald Thomas III for joining us, Gerard Thompson of Allstate Construction for joining us, and of course the legendary Hall of Famer Albert Chester Sr. for joining us as well. Thank you, Dr. Strachan, for
Bust him in the mouth.
being in the moderator's chair and watching over the chat room for us. Congrats, Dr. Lori, out there in the Hamptons. You guys go pick up her book on Amazon.com. And I do think I saw someone post this. It is the Smiles. Did I say that? Amazon Smiles. Yeah, Edwin Moore posted that. The Amazon Smiles program, which is part of the National Alumni Association, that can you could actually put that. You guys in the chat room are real fun. I don't know if you guys are putting candidates or guests for next week. You guys in the chat room on YouTube are hilarious. That's all I'm gonna say to you guys in there. I don't know what you guys are doing, but we appreciate all of you. Appreciate all of you. Just want to remind you, hit the thumbs up button on your way out the door. And make sure you're following the ONG on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go download the Jericho Broadcast Networks app on the Google and Apple Play Store. Just search my JBM, my BCSN. If you have any other comments, you can send us an email, ongstrikezone@gmail.com. You can always find us on our individual Twitter feeds and go back and listen to the show in podcast format and all of its hilarity. I'm going to go back and listen just to see what the audio sounded like. But you can go back and listen to BCSN Pod Zone. All of those, part of the Black College Sports Network, can be found on the BCSN Pod Zone everywhere you listen and download to podcasts. Please go rate and review from wherever you are listening. Spotify, iHeart, Apple, Google, Anchor, wherever it is. We appreciate you. We love you. Stay strong. Keep writing letters. Send them to the Board of Trustees, folks. You heard our letters. You heard mine. You heard Kofi's. Go send your letters. Board of Trustees, let them know your thoughts on what's going on. That's the only way we can get real change to happen, is if we let them know why FAMU needs better, why we need to do more with more. Is because we give a damn. Rattler Nation, be good, be safe, take care, and don't forget to strike, and strike again, folks. All right, we're out. Peace out.